So hello and welcome everybody to this Q&A discussion with Moises from the Roseman University College of Nursing. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to check this out. Thank you. I want to thank Moises so much for coming. My name is Zach Kaczynski. I am the Coordinator of Employer Relations here at NSC Career Services. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Moises to introduce himself, tell us a little bit about what his role is at Roseman, and then we will jump right into our questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. Again, my name is Moises. I am the admissions recruiter for the College of Nursing at Roseman University of Health Sciences. That's our official name, so I'm only going to mention that once because it's a mouthful. My role as the admissions recruiter is to talk to prospective students about our nursing programs. And at Roseman, we have two. We have our pre-licensure program, and today I'll talk a little bit more about our MSN FNP, which is our graduate degree.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So can you tell us a little bit about Roseman University and the mission of the institution?
Of course. So Roseman's just turned 20 last year in 2020. It started off as a pharmacy school because our founders decided that there was a need for pharmacists in the area. So instead of having to recruit pharmacists that graduated from a different college or a different state, they decided to kind of start their own institution. And that's how Roseman started. We have our pharmacy program is still doing great things today. And about 12 years ago, our College of Nursing came on board with kind of the same concept as there was a need for nurses in the area, and Roseman decided to be a leader in the game and decided to teach more students and educate and help lead by example. So that's how our nursing program started off as. It started off 12 years ago with one cohort of an online hybrid option, and has turned into kind of who we are today with our pre-licensure programs and our MSN program. And Roseman's mission and kind of who we are is to kind of help educate and help develop the future medical leaders of tomorrow, especially in the Southern Nevada area and in Utah. So that's kind of who we are, and we're a young school, but we're very unique in what we do, and it's kind of how we started and what we're doing today.
Great. We're a new school ourselves over here at NSC, so we love helping out other newbies. So how did you come to work at Roseman University, and can you talk briefly about the path that you took to get to your current position?
Awesome. Yeah. So when I was an undergrad, I was really involved with a lot of different aspects. So I did new student orientation, I did residence life, I did Greek life, student government, any student involvement you can think of, I had my hand in. And I really enjoyed it because it really shaped my college experience, and I learned so many skills from it. Communication skills, teamwork skills, how to have a difficult conversations with peers. So once I kind of discovered that staff members or full-time people have jobs working in higher education, I was hooked. So I started doing some internships, and when I graduated, I was able to be an academic advisor from the institution where I was at, and I did that for a couple of years, advising biology students. And then life kind of brought me out to Nevada because my fiance is a nurse, and she got a job out here, and then the Roseman position opened up. My position is pretty new because Roseman is still a pretty young school, so the need to talk to students was there, and it's been a cool experience for the last 2 years, kind of developing our recruitment strategies and being able to talk to so many students from so different areas, because my goal is if I can help a student achieve their goal of becoming a nurse, that's what motivates me, and that's what makes me happy, and I'm really fortunate to be in the position I am today.
Cool, thank you. So how can nurses benefit from earning a master's degree? And what is a nurse practitioner?
Awesome. So I'll kind of start with what a nurse practitioner is, because not a lot of people know who it is unless you're a nurse. So a nurse practitioner takes a bigger role in a patient's care. So that can be anywhere from preventive measures to analyzing or kind of figuring out what's going on. So that's what a nurse practitioner does in general, is they take a more head-on, hands-on role with what a patient does. With earning a master's degree in general, of course, there's the money side, and it also exposes you to leadership positions because of having a higher degree. And with our MSN FNP program, it does give you a good foundation of all the skills you'll need in nurse practitioner and all the different fields you can go into. So if you want to work with kids in cancer, you could do that. If you want to work in family health, or if you want to work with primary care or acute care at a hospital. Our nurse practitioners work there. So it's a really good overall way to kind of take that next step in LERS and being a leader in a patient's care.
Awesome. So can you talk a little bit about the MSN program at Roseman and about what makes it unique?
Awesome. Yeah. So our MSN program is an MSN FNP, which stands for a Master's of Science in Nurse Practitioner. There's a lot of acronyms in nursing. So as you do your research, you'll see there's acronyms for everything. So what our program is a little bit different is our program is about 22 months. It is completely online except for 6 residency days where you do have to come to our Las Vegas campus. So let's say you graduate with your Bachelor's of Nursing and you're ready to take a job in Texas or California or wherever life may take you. Roseman can still be an option for you. And then what our program does, it's teaching you the skills and the fundamentals of becoming a nurse practitioner. So you're learning how to do research at the graduate level. You're learning how to write at the graduate level. And then while also learning how to be a really good nurse practitioner. Another thing that makes Roseman really unique is how our curriculum is set up. So Roseman is on a block curriculum. So instead of having to take 3 or 4 classes at a time, you're going to be taking 1 class and everything that's associated with that class is within the block. Most of all of our students who are in our MSN FNP program are still practicing nursing. So they have a full-time job where they're working at a hospital or at a clinical site. So that block curriculum comes in really handy because they don't have to juggle 3 to 4 classes and they're only working on 1. Another cool thing about our MSN program is we have a graduate practicum coordinator. So a big difference between your nursing education at the undergraduate level versus grad school is your clinicals. So in undergrad, when you're a nurse, you get told where you have to go. This is the hospital where you have to go, show up at this time, and this is the unit you're working on. With your graduate degree, it's up to you to kind of help you figure out where you want to work. Do you want to work at this clinical site, this hospital, or would you rather work at this other place, whatever works for you? And our graduate practicum coordinator does is kind of helps you facilitate that conversation with that hospital to make sure that everything you're going to need for your boards and for our graduate program, you're going to meet the requirements. And our graduate practicum coordinator actually does site visits to make sure that the institution where you're getting your hands-on experience is going to meet everything that's required out of the program. So that's a huge tool, especially if a student is working full-time as a nurse and there's additional stress with finding which program they want to go into or which track they want to go into. Our graduate practicum does a good job there. And then also with our F&P program is if you do want to continue to work with a doctorate in nurse practitioner, which is more of a research-based doctorate, it doesn't allow you to kind of take the next step forward. And also with having an MSN and F&P, if you want to move forward on the education side, you can, or if you want to stay on the bedside or the care side, you could also do that. So it's really flexible to kind of see where your nursing career is going to take you.
That's great. It's great to hear that. It seems like the school does so much to support students who are working, because I know that that's a question I hear a lot from students who are interested in graduate school in any field, is that concern about can they do it while they work. So it sounds like Roseman is definitely thinking about that, which is great.
And especially with our like clientele students, like they're nurses, and especially with this whole pandemic thing, they've been asked, and we're extremely thankful for what they're doing. So we put a lot of effort because they're out there saving lives and they want to continue their education. So we try to help our best with the education side.
Awesome. So if a student earns a bachelor's degree that is not in nursing, but they do still want to become a nurse, so this is for any of our students who maybe are deciding that once they finish their degree in something totally else, they've decided that maybe they do want to be a nurse. How can they go about doing that at Roseman?
Awesome. So with our nursing program is we do have a pre-licensure program. And the reason I say pre-licensure is for students who want to get their license to become a nurse. I know that sounds very direct, but it helps to kind of differentiate programs. So with us is if you have a bachelor's degree, we look at your last 60 credit hours and we look for about 4 or 5 math and science prerequisites. So have you taken a chemistry or biology, kind of stuff like that. So we look at your last 60 credit hours, we look at those 5 classes, and then we look at the T's, which is an entrance exam for nursing. And then you will be able to apply to one of our cohorts, and we have 4 cohorts a year, which is kind of flexible. And that's kind of how Roseman started off. Our nursing program started off as, actually. It started off as hey, someone graduated with business degree, did that for 10 years, and realized maybe being a nurse was their calling, which is kind of why our nursing admissions prerequisites are pretty flexible.
All right, so what are the admission requirements for the MSN program at Roseman?
Awesome. So with our admission requirements, we do have our graduate admission specialist who's here to help you and guide you through the process. But what we're looking for is we're looking for students who currently hold their license within nursing. So you do have to be a licensed registered nurse. We look at a bachelor's degree from an accredited nursing institution, 3.0 GPA, and then we look for a stats class in your undergraduate education. Just because those are going to come in handy, and those are kind of like the check marks that you're going to definitely need in our MSN program. And then to kind of help determine which students we select, we look at about a year of clinical experience as a registered nurse, because we do want to make sure you've been exposed to some things. And then a lot of hospitals do have residency programs for first year nursing, and you're making the adjustment into working full time. So there's just a lot of moving parts. And graduate school is a tall task, and with time management and some other skills. So we definitely want to make sure you have a year with being a nurse, because it just comes in handy with everything. We also look at your resume to kind of help you determine who you are outside of work and outside of being a nurse, with volunteer hours, leadership skills, all that good stuff. And then you do have to write an essay just describing what your goal is or why you want to become a nurse practitioner. And that's something our faculty really care about with everything, is making sure that we pick students that are right for our program and right for the career of a nurse practitioner.
Awesome. And I'll just add too that we do take grad school appointments in the Career Services Center. So please, if you need help with your essay or anything like that, please reach out to us. We'd love to help you out with that. Really all aspects of the application process, any questions you have about grad school, come talk to us. How can students who are interested in the MSN program prepare for the program now and the application process? How can they make themselves a more competitive applicant?
Great question. So with our MSN program, we really do focus on the resume and why you're becoming a nurse practitioner. So I would say developing your resume and showing off your skills and your leadership traits and any volunteer stuff, that comes in really handy. Writing skills comes in, it's a huge component of any graduate program, and especially with ours. And then being able to portray that in an essay. Our director for the MSN program and our graduate practicum coordinator really put a lot of effort into choosing students that want to be a nurse practitioner for the right reasons. So that start having those conversations and start having those heart-to-heart conversations with whoever you're close to about why you want to take this next step, because that really shows when you write your essay and when we're reviewing applicants. But we really do look at volunteer hours, what units you might be on, or what kind of volunteer stuff you'll have outside of work, because we're trying to figure out if you're a good person. I wouldn't say good person, but we're trying to figure out if you're a good applicant, but we're also trying to figure out if you're a good fit for our program.
Yeah, and I have to throw into that here at the Career Services Center, please feel free to schedule a meeting with us. We take meetings with students who are specifically looking for help applying to graduate school. And so we will look at your essay if you'd like. We can help you go over it, help you know what to write, sort of figure out how to tackle that process, because I know that's overwhelming for a lot of students. And any other materials you need, we're there to help you. Any other questions you have about grad school. And actually, when I say we, I should say me. I am now taking graduate school appointments. So please, I'm nice. I can help you. So anyway, moving on. When do applications open, and when is the deadline to apply?
Awesome. So we have 2 cohorts a year. We have one that starts in January, and then we have another one that starts in June. Our cohorts are small, so we take about 20 students per each cohort. And something that our university offers is a graduate admissions specialist. And what an admission specialist is they're your point of contact throughout the admission process. So if you forget what the requirements are, or if you're trying to figure out the time frame, her name is Portia Span, and she does a great job helping students figure out what they need, what they're missing, and where to go from there. We like to say is we like to meet students where they're at and then helping them get to their goal. Our applications usually open up about 3 months before a cohort starts, but sometimes we're able to extend the application or make it earlier, just depending on how much availability there. But the best way to figure out if which application is best for you is to reach out to our graduate admission specialist.
and please reach out to them. They want to hear from you. That's I joke that I say that in every video, but we put this contact information there for a reason. That's their job, is they want to talk to students. They want to work with you. Plus, we're all working from home. We're all lonely, so they want your email. They want your call.
Human interaction is good, even if it's just an email.
Yeah, so do not be afraid to reach out. There are no dumb questions. So I'm going to go ahead and do our bonus question here. Actually, we have a little bit of time left. So what is a piece of career or life advice that you wish someone had given you when you were a student?
Yeah, and you kind of already talked about it, is reaching out to the programs you want to apply to. I always tell students we're part of the admissions team, so we help students get into our program. So why not talk to the people who are accepting students? That's my biggest piece of advice for any student is, if you really want something, you're going to work for it and you're going to ask the person for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because it can go a very long way learning tips and tricks of the application, learning what's the best way for you to be competitive, because graduate school is competitive, nursing school is competitive. So you definitely want to make sure you use all the resources that are available to you.
I could not agree more with that. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm working in this field, is because I realized as an undergrad that I didn't go and look at those resources. I didn't feel like I had these resources available to me, but you have these resources. We're here to help you. It's all free. You know what I mean? It comes with what you pay as a student. So talk to people, reach out, get help, because that's one unique privilege you have as a student, is all of these people who are here specifically to support you and help you. So reach out to us. We are here for you.
Yes, of course.
Even if you're not a student yet, even if you're looking to become a student. So at Roseman, for example, there are people there who want to help you out. With that in mind, if students do have additional questions, how can they reach out to you? And also, if maybe you can repeat that information for the admissions coordinator also, and I may throw that down below the video so students can access their information as well.
Yeah, so we have our inquiry form on our website. So if you just go to College of Nursing at Roseman, just Google that, or nursing.roseman.edu. That'll bring you to our homepage. You'll find more information of everything I kind of went over today, and then you'll find our inquiry form. All that form is just to send you some more information. Plus, that gives Portia, the graduate admission specialist, your information, so you guys can schedule follow-up appointments. Portia Span is the graduate admission specialist. She works with all our MSN F&P prospective students, which would be students who would be interested in that. And her email is just pspan@roseman.edu. And then students are more than welcome to reach out to me. And then my email is Ybarra@roseman.edu. But our inquiry form is probably the best way to get up-to-date information and then get in contact with someone.
Okay, great. I'll make sure I link to that on the page where this video is. So take a look at that. Should be below this video somewhere, below our heads down there. So thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me a little bit. And thank you, students, of course, for watching. I really appreciate the students' time and your time as well. I think this was a great conversation. And if you guys have any questions, not just about Roseman, but if you have any questions about career exploration, preparing for graduate school, feel free to contact us at the Career Services Center, and our information is all over the page that you're currently on. Career@nsc.edu is the best email, and then also nsc.edu/career is our website. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. So have a great day.
All right. Bye, everyone.